Well, hello, hello, hello. So glad to be with you today. We are 1 week post RootsTech, and we have some really super duper cool things to talk about. We have my special guest, Daniel Horowitz from MyHeritage. Hey, Daniel, how are you?
Hello, Devin. I am great. Thank you very much for the invitation and very excited looking at all these comments from all these people around the world.
Absolutely, absolutely. If you haven't told us where you are tuning in from, go ahead and click that, put that in the chat. And if you're a first timer, we want to welcome you. My name is Devin Noel Lee, and I'm with Family History Fanatics. And I typically do my live streams with my husband, Andy, but this is not our typical Friday. I really wanted to get my heritage right after RootsTech, not during RootsTech. And Daniel's been so kind to join us. What time is it there right now?
Well, right now it's 7 p.m. because I am in Israel. So, yeah, right from this side of the world.
Well, I hope you've had some dinner because we want to pick your brain on the cool features you have for the family tree. I think it would be really good to go ahead and start with syncing the family tree, the FamilySearch. Now, if you are a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, this works for you. Correct me if I'm wrong, this doesn't work for people who aren't. Is that right?
That is perfectly right and very important for everybody to understand because anybody can have an account in FamilySearch, but you need to have that specific LDS account that will give you access to the partners page in FamilySearch. And from there is where you're going to be able to connect your account from FamilySearch to MyHeritage and get all the features that MyHeritage has totally free.
Absolutely. Now, if you aren't a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, that is okay. I want to show you, I got to get this video off. Hold on a second because I want this thing right here. That's what I want. All right. Now, if you think these features are super, super rad, then let's start a campaign to make sure that everybody can take advantage of this if as part of a subscription or something. So I want you to stick around, even if you're not a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. We're going to talk about timelines, and then if we have enough time, we'll also talk about any other questions you have about the tree. Stick around for, I probably should make ourselves just a little bit bigger for a moment. If you are going to stick around for our second hour, that is our DNA deep dive. You have to be a member, channel member. So go ahead and click the join button right now. But let's go ahead and let's talk about this tree syncing. I think it's pretty cool. And hopefully someday, maybe, Daniel, if people bug you enough, they can be available for everybody. I don't know. I don't want to put words into your mouth, but it is really cool.
It doesn't depend on us.
All right. So Daniel's going to tell me what I'm supposed to do. I'm going to do the driving. So what do I do next?
I am not LDS. Let's start by that, okay? And excuse me for using the contraction, but I will never be able to say that all that correctly. You already logged into your FamilySearch account with your user and password, Devon. So now you're accessing the partner services, and you will see over there all the partnerships that FamilySearch offers you. And there's the logo of MyHeritage and saying join for free. So you click over there, and here you actually have two options. You can create your free account with MyHeritage with no problem right there. Or if you already have an account with MyHeritage, and it could be a free account, and I know you do, all you need to do is to sign in to connect both accounts and grant all these free features to that account. And yep, you need to put your email, you need to put your password.
Okay, well, I'm going to hide it for just a second while I
yes.
Because what if I do it wrong?
No, we want to keep passwords safe and secret. I totally agree with you.
Okay.
And very important also that you will need to agree to the terms and conditions that you will see right there, and you can read them and have no problem to go over them, and then you're ready to go.
All right, so I'm
now going. How do you know that your account was connected? Okay, so the process now is syncing your tree from MyHeritage to FamilySearch. I'm sorry, the other way around, from FamilySearch to MyHeritage.
Okay.
Then you can start working on MyHeritage and take advantage of all the features and record matches, smart matches, and updates and everything. And then you will be able to go and sync back to FamilySearch.
Awesome.
And very important also is, how do you know if your account is already synced with FamilySearch? Is because on your MyHeritage account, you
It's
will see on that gray bar. Oh, okay, you see that now your gray bar says in partnership with FamilySearch.
all right.
So that
I'm trying to
guarantees
zoom
you,
in so you
yeah,
guys can read it on the screen.
now you can guarantee your account was actually synced and you
Uh-huh.
enjoy everything now.
Awesome. Awesome. Because right before we went live, Daniel checked and I'm like, I have a FamilySearch account, but we didn't see the bar. And so now it's doing this syncing thing. So I think that's going to take a little while. Why don't I make you big? And can you tell us what is happening with this syncing? What are the pitfalls? How many people are being brought in? Kind of give us an overview of what's happening.
Well, I don't know a lot of the details. That is
Okay.
why I wanted to invite Uri Gonen, who was one of the product managers,
What is the
heads,
sync?
yep,
The sync.
I'll
to
start it in a minute.
explain us about all the details, and he will mention it all about the limitations
Okay.
and how big or small your tree is synced. Because yes, you may have a huge family tree, but not everybody is synced.
Yeah, I saw that graphic. So I look forward to putting that. So we're going to
Yep.
go ahead and put ourselves on mute. And then we're going to play this video. And then if you have questions as this is being played, make sure you drop your question in the chat and then we'll go through it together. So here we go.
It's a project that we've been working on for a few years, and we are ready to roll it out. So LDS members who have a tree on an account on FamilySearch can enhance their family trees using MyHeritage. They can learn more information about their family using our matching with other trees on MyHeritage, with Genie tree and other records that are not found on FamilySearch. The tree sync transfers any new information effortlessly between the MyHeritage tree that you get through this project and the FamilySearch tree. This allows you to minimize any labor of trying to sync the information manually and any dealing with contradiction. And the outcome is that using this technique, you can get a lot more conclusions into FamilySearch faster. So the important point here is that we always start by importing, what we call importing, your FamilySearch tree from FamilySearch into MyHeritage. The import is comprehensive, accurate, and includes names, relationships, events, facts, memories, sources, reasons, even. Basically, everything that you have on FamilySearch about your family will be transferred to MyHeritage when you decide to start this. After the initial import, you have now a tree on MyHeritage, which is an exact copy of part of your FamilySearch tree. And you can work on it and then update FamilySearch using the research that you have done on MyHeritage. Now, when we say your tree on FamilySearch, as you know, FamilySearch tree is one large tree where everybody collaborates. So when we say there is no your tree really, because it's everybody's tree. So when we say your tree, we mean a portion of the tree around you. And this is a nice diagram that we created to explain that. So you are here in the middle of the diagram. We take up to 6 generations up. So that's actually 8 generations up, 6th great-grandparent, and their children as well. So your uncle, your brothers, your great uncle, and so on. and also some of their descendants. So for your great uncle, brothers, sister, aunts, and great aunts, we also bring their children. So that would be your nephews, nieces, cousins, second cousins, once removed, and also your children, grandchildren, and great grandchildren. So this is the portion of the tree that we bring over to MyHeritage. Any changes and additions that you make to that portion, you can then synchronize them back into FamilySearch. So let's see how this works. Let's start the process. So you go to this page, your tree from FamilySearch to MyHeritage.
I'm going to skip past this part since we just did that live.
The tree is. The longer it is, the more time. Of course, also memories are photos that can take even a bit more time to bring. But you don't really have to do anything. You can just wait here, or just go and wait for the email that will be sent, and then you can start working on MyHeritage. You can see here that there's a few privacy settings and names of your tree on MyHeritage that you can already set up here and be acquainted with that. Once the initial import is done, you will get a message saying, here is how much was imported, and click on the View Family Tree to start working on MyHeritage. Of course, if you did not want to wait, an email will be sent to you with a link to the exact same place. And remember, this is free. So everything that's on MyHeritage that requires subscription, smart matches, record matches, whatnot, that we give to people who need to actually purchase a subscription, are free to members of the Church of the Latter-day Saints. So here is a tree that was brought over from FamilySearch to MyHeritage. And this is an example of how the tree would look like for you. And there's many different things that you can check out on MyHeritage, many different tools, matches into our records, like we mentioned, and different ways to visualize and research your tree. But let's look at a few things here interesting in the context of FamilySearch. So let's zoom in here a bit and see information about a person. We can see that there is in fact a link connecting your MyHeritage profile of this person directly to FamilySearch, though you can go back and forth between the two trees easily. We see here that this person already has what we call discoveries, which are smart matches. These are matches to other trees on MyHeritage of about the same person. Record matches, which are matches to historical records, censuses, birth records, of course, and also other trees on MyHeritage that are not of other users, such as Genie and the likes. And also consistency issues regarding people, so probable maybe mistakes that you can work on already. You see that we already brought photos, memories, what's called on FamilySearch, biography notes, and so on. And if we scroll down here, you'll see all the facts and all the relationships to spouses that are brought over. Another thing that we bring in is what is called on FamilySearch reason this information is correct. So if you are interested in modifying this information through MyHeritage, you can also enter reasons directly from MyHeritage. And then when you sync over the information back to FamilySearch, those reasons will be documented there. So you can practice good citizenship on FamilySearch right on MyHeritage. Here is an example of sources that were brought over. So all of this is taken care of. Memories. So there is a place on MyHeritage where you can see all your what we call media or photos. And that's basically all the memories where people from your tree that we just saw are tagged or are mentioned. So that all these photos you can look at, modify, you can colorize them, you can do deep nostalgia animations on them, and you can now create live stories using those photos. So this is all the tools that we have on MyHeritage for photos could be available through this syncing of your tree to MyHeritage. As we mentioned, there are discoveries, which are the very important research tools, and this is a place on your tree that you see all of your discoveries. In this case, there's already almost 100,000 matches for this tree for 3,000 more people. So a lot of information to look at and to delve into. So this is great, but the real magic of the sync is what happens once you try to consolidate those two trees. So you made changes on MyHeritage to the tree that you brought over from FamilySearch using our discovery tools and whatever you found through records. And some of the changes also, some of those people were modified or added new family on FamilySearch as well, because FamilySearch is not your own tree, it's other people work on it, and many things can change there as well. So once you want to start the sync, any additions that were made to your MyHeritage tree will be transferred to FamilySearch and vice versa. And the outcome, as we said, quicker way to get conclusions to FamilySearch and update your version of the tree on MyHeritage. So if you go to your tree, at the top, next to the place where you can choose which view to use, there is going to be a button called Sync Now. And when it's red, this red button indicates that you have made changes to the tree already on MyHeritage, so it's a good time to start the sync. You can also do this from the main menu, from the family tree. There is an entry called FamilySearch Sync. And when you click that, first there is a confirmation saying you understand what it is. And when you do that, the sync just happens. So just like we saw in the import, the sync is now in process. The sync brings any changes that happen on the FamilySearch and any changes that happen on MyHeritage, checks to see how to kind of reconcile everything. And when everything is done, you basically get an email. We see here on the right an example. And on the left, we see a report that the email also points to, but you can just also wait for the sync to finish and get the report. And the report basically outlines everything that happened during the sync, what was added to MyHeritage, what was added to FamilySearch, what was modified. If anything was removed from FamilySearch, it will be removed on MyHeritage as well, but not vice versa, by the way, because we never delete information on FamilySearch. We don't want that to happen. And so the detailed report will tell you everything that happens, so full accountability, and you can go and anything that you think is problematic, you can go and through this report, click on the links to look at the profiles and make any modifications as necessary. A quick note about conflict. So because things change on both sides independently, and then when you click on sync, they get merged back, there could be conflicts because there could be changes that happen on both sides in a different way. And when that happens, the sync always will prefer the change that happened on FamilySearch because it is of the community. We don't want to lose anything that was done by other people. And so the changes that happen on FamilySearch will prevail. And the report that we just mentioned highlights those particular issues. So you can look and see what was the problem and deal with it accordingly. And to summarize, another thing that we worked on lately is to deal with duplicates. So duplicates is something that is a common issue on FamilySearch, again, because FamilySearch is a tree that is a collaboration tree where many different people work on the same tree. Duplications appear when you're trying to add a person to the FamilySearch tree, and FamilySearch recognizes this person probably already exists somewhere else in the tree with the same name, the same dates, and the same relationships. and it tries to avoid you duplicating that same person over and over again. So the same thing happens with the sync. So imagine that you do a research on MyHeritage, and the research adds more relatives to the tree, more parents, more children, spouses, and so on. And then when you do the sync will attempt to add those people to FamilySearch. But because FamilySearch tries to avoid duplication, we do the same. And when we attempt to add a person to FamilySearch, the good thing is that FamilySearch gives us the mechanism for our code to check the same thing that users will see. And if our code, the sync, identifies that this is a duplication and it's very likely to be really a duplication, then we immediately merge and do not create the duplication. In some cases, the duplicate is a possibility, but we're not absolutely sure. So in this case, we will again highlight these possible duplicates that you need to deal with in the report and in the email that you get. And then you can go and decide what to do manually on FamilySearch, just like when you have added things through the FamilySearch user interface. So this summarizes what the sync does, I hope.
Yeah.
All right. I thought that was great.
Uri is very clear when he explains the things, because he was actually the one that coded all this for over 2 years already.
Okay.
So kudos to Uri.
For sure, for sure. I wanted to go over a couple of the things that he highlighted in the video. I know that there were some questions, and I hope that in the chat you guys will keep asking some questions based on that. We have a few more minutes on this topic, and then we'll get ready to switch over to timelines. But he mentioned the privacy settings. And Daniel, do you know enough about the privacy to kind of walk us through what these, by selecting or deselecting, what they would mean?
Well, they're actually very clear. Like, MyHeritage allows people to open or close their website as much as you want. The default is that deaf individuals are open, and you want to keep them open if you want to be found by other people searching on MyHeritage or by the matches. And then you can, of course, open everybody or close everybody. So that will be the first one, to allow guests to find your site, meaning I am not part of your website, but I found your grandmother, great-grandmother, whoever is already dead, and I will be able to find and to access your tree. Now,
okay, so I wanted to show a quick example of the websites you were mentioning. Let me just pull it up real quick. So here I have several of these websites. 2 of them are project trees. So for me, I try to keep those private, but this is that one that I'm syncing to FamilySearch. So I have that option to make it public. And then these are some of those other people that have allowed me to see their tree. So that's what you're talking about, right?
Exactly. They will be already members, not guests. I will be a guest in your tree, and you will be member of all those people trees.
Awesome.
And then, yes, and then the other options is to view the information about deceased people or not, meaning closing even more your privacy, and all to accept to be put to your tree into the search engine and be foundable there.
Okay.
Or and allow guests to find photos on your site, because and I saw a question about the memory that FamilySearch names on MyHeritage. We just simply name it as photos, but it could be videos, audios, or everything. They also have metadata. You can put a title for that, and you can tag individuals over there, and there are ways to make those media files discoverable, and and you can choose. You can here select if you want to allow or not other people to find those pieces of information and to find you at the end of the day through MyHeritage.
Gotcha. Well, it's still syncing. There's quite a few ones going on here. Now, as it was going through, I noticed that So I do have my children on the tree and they came over, but then MyHeritage also brought a number of branches of my husband, and I wasn't necessarily expecting that. So I have two questions. It doesn't look like you can customize and say, I don't want my husband's branch. But if I
No, you
take
can't.
my husband's lines out of MyHeritage on my MyHeritage tree, will that mess things up?
Well, it will not mess things up because again, you will have it on FamilySearch. And as Uri was explaining, every time you sync, FamilySearch wins. Okay, let's call it like that. Now, what I don't know really is, because it's in FamilySearch and we don't see it on MyHeritage, is if we are going to bring it back every time. So again, it's not messing up things. It's probably creating extra work for you if you really don't want to have it on MyHeritage.
Okay. So that's just something that we need to be thinking about, because I know a number of people are like, my husband does his tree. I don't want to mess with his tree. I just want to work on my tree, right? So that'll be interesting in the future to see where we go from here. I want to go ahead and tackle a couple questions here that some people had. So the syncing, can that be done on the mobile or just desktop?
No, it's just on the browser. Yes.
Okay.
Desktop.
And the timeline, because might as well answer this question, is that desktop and mobile, or?
So far is desktop.
Okay.
We have a similar feature on the mobile, also called the timeline, but it doesn't look the same and it's not really the same thing. We are trying to sync between our mobile and desktop applications.
Awesome. Okay. So then the next question, does it sync and merge with your current family tree, or do you need to start a new tree? So I feel that I already had my tree and we picked that tree and we synced it there. Is that correct?
No, we picked a site. And in a website, you can have multiple trees.
Okay, so let me go back to what I was showing.
June is right. Yes. If you go now to your tree, to your website, I'm sorry, go to the top and you click Lee website. Under family tree, without clicking, you will find manage trees.
Okay.
And if you click there, probably after the syncing, you will find those two that you already have JetComs.
Okay.
And a third one with the source being FamilySearch.
Okay.
So we will create a new tree on MyHeritage because we are not able to merge that with any previous tree that you already have on MyHeritage.
Gotcha. Okay. And then if we want our DNA to be on the FamilySearch tree,
sure.
Is that possible?
No problem. Whenever you have your tree synced, and then you go to the DNA menu, and you can assign the DNA kits. Don't do it now, and I'm going to tell you why.
I don't want to mess it up. But would this be the link, the manage the DNA?
Yes, manage DNA test
Not going to do
kits.
it.
No. And then you will be able to assign or connect that DNA kit with that individual in the family tree.
Okay.
And that will be the right way to do. Why I'm telling you not to do it? Very easy, because you will be discovering not only your DNA, but probably also other people's, other family members' DNA. And I'm just being cautious of privacy. You're going to see record DNA matches with other people. So DNA is something that we always take very seriously with a lot of cautions.
Awesome. There was, so I talked about that one. Okay, let's talk about that one. So this one comes to the conflict. So it was you mentioned about the conflicts that FamilySearch wins. Does that mean FamilySearch overwrites what you've done in MyHeritage, or FamilySearch doesn't change until on that conflict report you just make a decision?
Okay, so let me make an example of a conflict. Okay.
Okay, please.
You decided that let's say your grandfather wasn't born in 1800s, as you
Yes.
have in Family Search, it was 1820. So because the information in Family Search is 1800s and you change it on MyHeritage, the MyHeritage will go back to the 1800s.
Okay.
Okay, so that's why I'm saying Family Search will always win.
Okay.
If somebody else or in Family Search the information changed, then the information on MyHeritage will change also.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, that's the way we are resolving conflicts. And the conflicts is actually not in Family Search. The conflict is with your version of the tree on MyHeritage.
Okay. So if we want to if we want to have the 1820 and not the 1880, where do we make the change?
You need to change it on Family Search.
Gotcha. Okay. So might be get 2 monitors going.
No, 2 tabs. 2 tabs are good.
Well, 2 tabs, 2 monitors, 14 tabs across 2 monitors. You know, it all works. All right. One more question, and we're going to wrap up this topic. And I'm not sure. I'm just going to ask it. It was a good question. I have an NPE, a non-paternal event. We like to call them surprises. On my private tree based on DNA evidence. FamilySearch records the adopted father as the biological. How does this transfer back and forth with unexpected parentage?
Okay, so, that's a very good question. And the short answer is I don't know. But I don't know why it says here that the adopted father is the biological, and if that is how Family Search recognize, we will not know that this is the adopted father, because Family Search will report to MyHeritage, this is the bio father. Okay. And we will say, okay, so that's the bio father.
Okay. So then it sounds like we need to go make the change on Family Search.
Yes.
To bring it over. Okay. All right. Well, that was pretty amazing stuff. And now for the balance of the time, we're going to talk about timeline. I really like the timeline feature. And you wanted to share, well, no, that was the video.
I have a screen.
Okay, so let's take this one off behind the scenes.
And I hope it will not be a mess, or it will be a mess for a minute because I'm just working with one monitor.
Okay, there we go.
So sorry for that. But I have here a website already open for you. And first, the timeline, it's a little bit out of the family tree views that you may be used to. We put it under the family tree, and you will find it here, family timeline, with the new icon right here. When you click over there, we will create the timeline automatically for the default person. So in this case, because this is a sample tree, it's my alter ego, Daniel Smith, and you will see the person over here. I decided to make myself a little bit younger. So I am 39 years old, according to this tree. Okay. And you will be able to see my parents, my grandparents, and great-grandparents. Okay. Whenever the bar ends in a straight line, it means that the person is still alive. And it says Brian is now 76 years old. Whenever ends in a round form, it means that the person died, and it will show you the age. And whenever you don't know, sorry, I'm driving everybody crazy here. Whenever you don't have an exact date, we will fade the color at the end. So that will give you also a little bit of a clue on how your family tree is curated or it's sanitized. Let's call it like that. The information that you have over there. Another very nice detail that you have here is the age of the person or the parent when the kid was born.
Okay, so could you zoom in on that? I don't mean to interrupt.
Yes, yes, okay, please.
Yeah, so that looks good. Thank you.
Okay, so you can see here that when Joseph was born, age was 18 years old. Okay, and you see these connectors over here. And why are those important? Because MyHeritage will also include here a little bit of the check consistency features. You can see this thing around here. Well, this is supposed to be Joseph's father. And according to my tree, he was born in 1878 and died in 1845. First of all, that's impossible. Let's start by that, okay? But not only that, you can see that Joseph was born here, okay, like 62 years after the death of the father. That is also very impossible. So there must be a mistake someplace there. And it's very easy to see it now that I have the details right in front of me. So all what I need to do is to look for the three dots right there and go and edit the profile and change the information or review the information that I have. Probably it was 1945 what I wanted to put over there, and by mistake I type it 1845, and that makes the timeline to look weird. Two more things that I would like to say about the timeline is
yes,
the world events that you will see here. And you know, a lot of people don't realize, wow, my grandfather was actually living during the two world wars, and that's quite nice to know. You can customize the amount of generations that you can see on the timeline. You can download, you can print, you can share freely with no problem, all this. And of course, that if you want to build this timeline for another person, all you need to do is to start typing the name, and we will bring you the names of the people in your family tree. And just with one click, that's it. You will have the new timeline created just for you.
This is so exciting. Now, I did have a question about the timeline. So it has the World War II events, but does it have other events, and are those US centric, or does it go from, if you have a family in France, it's going to have French events?
Well, right now, those are the only three that I see. I think we have one more before the American Civil War.
Okay.
They are very American centered. That is
Uh-huh.
true. Well, American and world. You can decide here to show or not the historical periods, and the idea is to keep adding those for other countries as well.
Okay.
Now, it's my understanding that this is also done intelligently. What do I mean by that? Like if the person is browsing in French, or it has individuals born in France, we may be able to show you the French Revolution. So you will know if you had a relative in La Bastille.
Sweet. We just had a viewer say that they see the French Revolution there. So yay.
Exactly.
Awesome. So I don't see any comments, questions right yet about the timelines. I think this is really great. I love the colors. I think it's well thought out. The only thing that when I saw it for the first time, I had to remember is that typically, and this was pointed out in the training video, typically when we do our pedigree, we go from left to right, and the timeline goes from right to left. And it took me a little while to go, oh, okay. The young, the recent is on the right, and then we're going back into time. So if you didn't know that, that's something to point out here.
Yes, that's right, because always time goes to advances to the right in different charts. Now, I can answer already a question that I know somebody doesn't want to ask, and is related to the colors.
Okay.
A lot of people are asking if they can customize the colors, and right now the answer will be no.
Okay.
We just went from blue to passing through green, orange, and reddish, and this will be like your mother, your four paternal, your four grandparents, and then goes in different shades of those colors. And those are the same colors we're using for the fun chart. So we are trying to give you a little bit of standards, but a lot of people are asking for some customization. So that may come soon.
Okay. Awesome. Well, we have some questions and they're going to be a little bit all over the place. We'll go for another few minutes and then we'll wrap up and get ready to do our bonus hour, our DNA deep dive with Daniel. And that will begin at 1 p.m. Eastern. I keep trying to put it back into mountain time because that's where I live, but we'll take a few questions and we'll take a break. This has just been so great. Make sure you leave comments in the chat, in the regular comments if you're watching the live or if you're watching the replay. That really helps our channel grow and helps us know what the interests are. Play around with these tools. And let me go ahead and grab a couple questions that I saw earlier. Where is it? Oh, going back to the tree sync real quick. Will memories be included in the live story that MyHeritage creates for you?
Yes, definitely.
Okay.
Once the memories are part of the photos, you will be able to come here to the live stories and generate those live stories for those memories, for those individuals. Yes.
Okay. This is another sync question. If someone syncs incorrect information, will it override the correct information from someone's hard work? It sounds like the way you said, and correct me if I'm wrong, whatever's in FamilySearch will come to this tree. Now, a viewer, June, said, I really like that you're actually creating a second tree. And at first I was like, why? And then it made sense because this one is going to have the constant changes that you can be aware of. And then you can have a second website tree on MyHeritage that you can keep your corrections in and then work on FamilySearch to correct. Can you speak to that? Am I on the right path?
Yeah, that sounds like a good idea. But yeah, regarding the question itself, like just remember always FamilySearch wins. So if somebody's putting wrong information in FamilySearch, and that is a possibility, you will get the wrong information. And if you have right information and you want to override, just go to FamilySearch and override it there. Whatever new information you are bringing with the matches or from the records or from new things that you put on MyHeritage, that will go up into FamilySearch with no problem.
Awesome. Okay, awesome. All right, so and why don't we get ready to share your screen on this one, because there's a question: how does one change the focus person, or can we go back further than 9 generations? So that's kind of a two-part in your
It's for the timeline?
Yes, sir.
So for the timeline, 9 generations is the most we can do.
Okay.
And in order to change the person, you just simply go on the top and you start typing the name of the person. You will find different individuals here that are all coming from the family tree. So the person needs to be on the family tree, and you click on it, and that's it. If I will zoom out a little bit here, you will be able to see all my relatives here.
Awesome. Okay, here's another one. What are the leaves besides the name? Oh, that's for us.
Oh, okay.
I'm like, what? Okay, so this is people who are channel members for Family History Fanatics. They've joined and they've been members and supporting us for a long time. That's what the leaves for. I thought it was a your question. Sorry about that. Oh, this is about
actually was a question that I had, but thank you.
So yeah, StreamYard doesn't bring in the leaves. So that's why there's the side S going on. But if you're watching the on YouTube, you're going to see these little leaves. Those are our loyal fans, and the ones that have the higher numbers have been our loyal fans the longest. So
good.
This question: when the sync happens, could you reiterate what it brings over? Does it bring over records? It sounds like it brings over images.
Any images that you will have, any videos or sound that you have attached to your tree, it will come to MyHeritage. So if the records are images attached, yes, it will come. If you have the records mentioned as a source or as a reason why the information is correct, it will also come to MyHeritage.
Awesome. Okay. I think that is all the time we have because we need to get ready for the DNA deep dive. So
Yes.
if you are a member, make sure you check the channel page. There's going to be the link, or if you go to the homepage of Family History Fanatics, you're going to have it under this month's DNA FHF training or the DNA training. Lots of ways to get to it. Plus, we also have an email. If you're not getting our emails, then go over to our websites, to our resource page. Family History Fanatics has resources, and there's so many free guides. And you can get any of those guides, sign up for our newsletter, and then we can let you know when we have new broadcasts coming out. And that would be all. But thank you, Daniel, so much. This has been so, so great. I'm so excited about these new family tree features that are going to be rolling out. And I can't wait to talk about DNA. So we'll see you in about 10, okay?
See you then.
Bye, guys.